So I have this old circular saw, old skill saw, back when they made them out of metal, yeah? Like a champ. Anyway, I had to buy a replacement a while ago because this little button broke. This is the actuator that allows the trigger to be recessed. I can't find that little button anywhere but 3D printing. Am I right? Am I right? So I think what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to take some measurements of the diameter of that little orange dealie in there, and then the outer diameter of what it needs to recess into. And then what we will do is probably just put a dab of super glue inside where that's going to go over the orange part, and then hopefully we got a button. So yeah, let's try it. So I took it apart there. There's the back panel right there. And this thing's like molded right into the trigger assembly. So I'm going to try and tweak that around a little bit and see what I can do. Yeah, I could probably find this trigger assembly somewhere, but that's not the point. Alright? Alright, I'm going to try and figure out how to do this.
Alright, back in the house now. Check out this sweet drawing. All you engineers out there are jealous. I can hear you through the internet. Just being jealous. At any rate, here's what we got going on. Top view-ish, sort of. 6 millimeters between the outside of that circle. And then this is going to be kind of the structure of said button, right? You have to have like 3 millimeters of throw there. And then the top part of the button is going to be the actual pad you push. So, just going to hop into TinkerCAD here because not very complex. So I'm just going to throw a cylinder. Now, I suck at measurements. I suck at drawing designs and blueprints and the such. So completely out of my wheelhouse. But here we go. We're going to try it out. I'm going to start with, let's do like 8 millimeters for the button portion. So it's going to be like an 8 millimeter cylinder. That's going to be about 3 millimeters tall. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring in another cylinder, make those sides as tight as possible. We're going to bring that down to what we want our final button to be. And I'm thinking, I measured it about 6 millimeters to the ID of the recess that the hole needs to be in. So I'm going to go like 5.8 to give it some slop, so it can move freely in there. And then we're going to want about 7 millimeters tall for this, so it has some throw. And then we're going to put this up 2.99 millimeters, because then we can overlay that onto here and it'll fuse with that part of the button. So now we can group that and we know they're overlaying each other. So now we have to cut out a 4 millimeter recess in here, allowing for 1 millimeter walls. So what we have here is 5.8. So we're going to do a 4 point, or no, excuse me. So it's a cylinder, so we have to do 2. So if we want 1 millimeter walls, we have to take 2 millimeters off of the inner circle, essentially. So we have to bring this down to what would that be? That'd be 3.8. Then 3.8. There we go. Now when we center that on here and we group it so it cuts it out as a whole, that should mean that we have 1 millimeter on either side here for the walls. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring this up, keep that at 3 millimeters. Now we know we're at the top of our button. Now we want to go up 3 for the slop we want. So that'll put us at 6. So then my idea here is that that little orange peg is going to sit in this cutout we have. And then this can move in and out as the button. So when we're pushing in, that should work out well. Hopefully, right? So I'm going to align this like that and that. I'm going to cut out that middle section. And there we go. Now hopefully we have a button that works. Probably going to print this on the CR10, and I'm probably going to use, let's see. Let's just jump into Simplify3d. I'll show you what I'm going to do. Alright, so into Simplify3d now, and the part was so small it said, hey, this thing's so small, are you sure you want it to come in, and maybe it's in inches format? So we're dealing with some pretty small stuff here. But that's okay, because it means it'll print quick, hopefully. So what I'm going to do probably is print this on a CR10, because my Anet is actually printing something right now. So I'm probably going to do this profile here, 0.1 millimeter. And I'm going to slow it way down, like super duper slow. But before I do that, what I'm going to do is whenever I print something in 0.1 millimeter layer height, I like to split the process just after the start. And the reason I like to do that is because my nozzle is set to 0.2 layer height for the first layer. So if we start printing at that 0.1, it's going to have some issues. So I'm just going to do split the process there. I got to add a location first. Split that process. I'm going to tell this one to stop printing at a height of 0.43. And this one is going to start printing, and it's going to go however high it needs to go. So this process here is going to be ridiculous. I don't know why it said that, but this process is going to be the CR10 PLA 01, and it's going to start printing at 0.43. So then I can bring this down to whatever. We'll go to, that's a little too fast. We'll go to 10 millimeters a second. So we're going to slow it way down. We're going to go to 100% infill. We're going to do 0 and 20 layers. And then for this one, we are going to start printing at 0. I don't even think you really need to do that, but we'll start printing at 0, go to 0.43. That's what's so frustrating about this. Now we got to find our 0.2. I want to say no. This is going to be 100% as well. We're going to start printing at 0. We're going to stop printing at, or we're not even going to say a start print. I don't care. Do 0.43. Infill of 100%. Got our primary layers set up like that, first layer and all that. Our speed is going to be pretty much standard for this bottom layer because we're going to do quite a few skirt outlines to keep that small print stable. So we're going to do like 25. I'm okay with 25. I had it a little higher on the other one, but so now we have two processes for this little part. I'm going to prepare to print. I'm going to put it all in there. See, so now it's got a way larger footprint than it did before. And it should be the right height when it starts. Right? So we're at 0.2 layer height until we hit 0.43. And then it goes to 1.1. And then it finishes up. So we'll try it out. I don't think I have any orange PLA, but that would work pretty nicely. So we'll see if this actually works and gets in there.
So there it is, fresh off the bed. Tiny. Looks pretty good. Layer lines and such. So let's try it out. Try to see if it even fits in there. Probably won't. Probably have to two-hand this. Good night. Oh, it's so close. I'll have to mess with it. I'll be back. So all I ended up doing here was find a flat hard edge. This is on my drill press. And then I just ran this a couple times just to knock out those the humps from the layer lines. And now I think it's gonna work. Let's check it out. And I think now, if I can do this one-handed, there we go. Now it slides in there, you can see it actuates and comes back. So I think that'll work. So the plan is now drop a little dab of super glue inside the chamber, make sure that orange part's in it, make sure it's relieved, not pressed in, and then I'm gonna probably just set it like this, right, so it doesn't get glued down in place, and it should work. So I'll do that now and I'll get back to you. So this is how this is working. You can't pull the trigger till you depress that button. And it seems to be working. Well, seems to be working. Pretty happy with that. If you enjoyed the video, maybe subscribe. This is kind of what I do here, practical printing. So I'll throw this on Thingiverse in case anybody has this exact same model with the exact same problem. I highly doubt it's going to get any downloads, but it's not the point. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Yeah. Check out social media stuff. I post a lot of stuff on Instagram that doesn't make it to YouTube, and I got a Discord server that I'm kind of using as like a forum for the community. So if you'd like to join, come on over. We'd appreciate it. Keep your amps up and your filament dry.